Hi everyone, in puppetry class, once again Kathleen Fogarty in my office. This time it's my shadow puppet studio and I'm going to share with you my shadow puppets. The first thing that I want to say is that I had the idea that I would try to incorporate shadow puppetry into my program about Mother Goose. So my first attempt, as I was preparing back in October, was to consult once again the Bible of Mother Goose Rhyme Books, Mary Englebright's 100 Best Loved Verses. And as you heard from the other tape that I did, I really wanted to make Granny Gooseby a lot of fun. So I started to think about Mary Englebright and the way she draws. And when I took a look at this image of little Miss Muffet and her spider, I began to imagine what these characters might look like if they were shadow puppets. I like the outline of little Miss Muffet, and I like the way she's looking sort of behind her, and I like the way that the spider is not that scary. So I decided that the first thing I would do was to try to get a shadow puppet built that had that feeling of Mary Englebright's drawing. So I cut out of black harder paper, sort of the image of little Miss Muffet looking over with her hat. She's a little bit bandaged up in the back, and I did use the standard skewers, or I suppose you could call them dowels. I'm trying to get where they are. And I also used quite a lot of tape on the back for that sort of stable but little bit wobbly way. Then I also created the spider, and in the same way I tried to go from Mary Englebright's drawing and then sort of figure out myself how I would adapt that. I wanted to make sure he had all the proper amount of legs, that he had eyes that could be seen through, and again, lots and lots of tape. So as I put my program together, I thought it would be too hard to go from the hand puppets behind the stage to setting up a shadow stage. So I sort of let them go. But then I thought about how I could create a puppet stage for shadow puppetry that would be very, very simple and very portable. And so I'm just going to turn a little bit, and you can see that my shadow stage is nothing but a box, and it's a stretched extra large man's t-shirt that I cut up and just taped it very tightly along the sides. Inside I have a piece of cardboard that's going to represent a countertop or stove, and then this other piece will look a little bit like a tuffet, I imagine. So then I thought to myself, well, if I just wanted to do just Little Miss Muffet, that would be pretty short. So I needed to figure out a way to put this together in a play form. And I found Dr. Pat's wonderful book, Leading Kids to Books Through Puppets by Carolyn Feller Bauer. And this one is one of the ALA publications. And inside, in the shadow section, there was a story about a man and a woman making vegetable soup together. So I thought about the scope and the size of the stage, and I found lots of this wonderful green paper, very sort of like cardstock paper, and more of my wonderful rod dowels, and more of my wonderful Scotch tape. So what I decided to do was to sort of put them all together and add a few props. And so I think what I will like to show you is what will come when little Miss Muffet and her spider meet some friends who make vegetable soup. So if you'll just give me a second, I'm going to go back behind the stage and kind of adjust things a little bit, and then you can see my play. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What's here? What's here? I wonder if there's going to be anything good to eat in this little room. I don't see a soul. I think I'll look around outside. Maybe someone is coming. Do 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 do. Ah, just what I like best, a tuffet. And as I look around, I see that there's no one here. What a nice place to rest. Ah, ah, ah. Hey there, girlie. Whoa! Mr. Spider, don't come any closer. Hey there, girlie. I'm just wondering if you've had lunch today. Well, as a matter of fact, I haven't had lunch at all. I haven't even had my customary curds and whey. Well, perhaps if we linger, we might find some way to satisfy our mutual hunger. Well, Spider, that's the best thing I ever heard. Come sit down here beside me. Okay, hold on. We'll see what's going to happen next. Do 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 do. Hi, my name is Joe, and I'm one of your friends in the neighborhood, and I'm just a regular guy growing food in a regular garden. Hi, Joe. So glad to see you home early, honey. Yes, and I was thinking maybe we ought to get to doing something about all those vegetables in our garden. Well, I have a great big old pot. I'll run fetch it, and you go out to the garden, and maybe we can make us some vegetable soup. All right, then. Do, 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 do. Well, here's my great big pot, and I think maybe I might go out and see if I've got something that I can find in the garden too. Do 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 do. Hey, Joe, what do you know? I found a nice big old celery. Well, you know what I think about celery? We gotta cut, cut, cut. We gotta chop, chop, chop. We gotta put that celery in that soup. All right, then. Chop, chop, chop. Put that celery in the soup. Do, 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 do. Hey, Joe, I've got a great big old green pepper here. What do you think about that? Well, you know what I say. When you see a great big pepper, you gotta cut, 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 chop, 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 dice, 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 and put that pepper in the soup. Well, I think I'd like to put it in whole if you don't mind. Do, 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 do. That's smelling mighty nice, Joe. Why don't I go out and see what else we can find in the garden? Okay. Do, 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 do. Well, how about a nice big potato? Now, you know, you can bake a potato or you can mash a potato, but I think we ought to chop, 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 cut, 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 dice, 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 and put it in the soup. I'm going to put it in myself. Do, 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 do. So far, this soup is smelling mighty good, Joe. I know. We're working hand in hand, the two of us together. Let me see what else I can find. Do, 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 do. Well, here's a great big old beet with some nice big green beet tops. Well, I just love beets. And you know, those beet tops, they're so green. Well, you know what I say. Chop, 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 dice, 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 cut, 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 and put it in the soup. Oh, Joe, this is really smelling fine. Do 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 do. Joe, Joe, how about this big old carrot? What do you think? Would you like to cut, chop, 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 cut, 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 fix it up, take off the top, put it in the soup. Whoa. Okay. I think there's one more thing out there. Let me run get it. Do 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 do. Joe, I've got a nice green onion here, and I think that will make the broth taste so good. I think we ought to chop, 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 dice, 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 cut, 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 and put it in the soup. Oh, well, honey, how does it feel to do a job together? Well, I don't know. You know what? I just forgot. What did you forget? I don't like vegetable soup at all. Oh, no. You don't like vegetable soup at all? Oh, no. Maybe we could give it to a neighbor. Let's go for a walk. And while we're on our way, let's have a sneaky kiss. Do, 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 do. Uh-oh. What do I see? What do I see? It's a pot of soup sitting right there on their stove. Oh my goodness, spider, spider, spider. Oh my dear, my dear. Oh yes, I think it's time that we shared something together. Little Miss Muffet says goodbye to her tuffet and hello to her friendly spider. And though she sat beside her, all was well, because the vegetable soup was there, and that's all there is to tell. La 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 la. Well, it looks like all the soup is gone. Maybe one of our neighbors came in. Well, that's okay, honey. Sometimes it's just a good thing to make something and give it away. You know, love is something if you give it away. Give it away. Give it away. Love is something if you give it away. You'll end up having more. 'Cause that's what love is for. Well, there we have it. The story of love, the story of vegetable soup, and there we are with shadow puppets. So I hope you enjoyed my story, and I hope you enjoy making all the puppets you can. Bye, puppetry class. See you another time.